Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast wrestling edition. Today, we are doing a preview of the biggest event in all elite wrestling. All in, all in London at Wembley Stadium is taking place August 25th. That is next week. So, this episode is purely dedicated to previewing this pay per view and what we expect from it. We have the wrestling expert, Mr. Jacob Mason. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, buddy. Just got off work. Here to talk some wrestling going into the biggest AEW weekend of the year.
Yep. Yep. And we decided, obviously, because, we've been pretty busy. We've had SummerSlam preview, SummerSlam review, and now we got AEW All In preview, and then we're going to review All In. And, they all needed to be on their separate episode because they're all big events. But, Jacob, man, this is what AEW geared towards every year now. This big stadium show in Wembley. What's your excitement levels for this compared to last year?
Excitement levels? Excitement, but I don't want to use the word excitement. I want to use the word, I don't know, a fucking anxiety filled I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, last year, it opened with CM Punk and Samoa Joe, and then Samoa Joe winning, but then you hear the drama backstage, and literally a week after, Punk gets fired, and that takes over literally the airwaves. This time, you have none of that drama going into this All In, and I'm interested to see, man, because again, for a lot of people, don't want to throw people under the bus, but a lot of people, this is the pay-per-view that they're paying their hard-earned money towards because this is the big one. This is their WrestleMania. This is their Super Bowl.
Yep, 100%. And it's because I know we've said it like 12 times. It's at Wembley Stadium in England, which means one thing: a fucking awesome crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 1,000%.
Yeah, the crowd's going to be fucking lit, as it always is in foreign lands. We have been hyping up and saying how good other countries have been at wrestling shows, and I have no doubt this will not be any different whatsoever.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Let's go over these matches, Jacob. We're here to preview them, give our thoughts. The match is currently announced as of 8/16 for the AEW page and their obviously Wikipedia as well. This can obviously change by next Wednesday, but we're just going to go over what we got now. You got Chris Statlander and Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Ishii in a mixed tag team match. Who do you got in this one?
Willow Nightingale and Ishii. What a great combination.
Mm-hmm.
Ishii's a bad motherfucker. Like, for people who've never watched Ishii, he's from New Japan. It was Kenny Omega versus Ishii. It was one of the American shows New Japan did years ago. It's a great match. Look it up. It's so fucking good. And Willow Nightingale is just fun. She's AEW's Piper Niven. And I mean, she really is, but she's good and she's fun to watch.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I think I got Nightingale and Ishii in this one. I think so. While we are actually, let's see if we can see if there's any AEW betting odds going on.
Oh man. All right, so if we're going to talk while you're looking that up, let's talk some betting odds here.
Mm-hmm.
Every betting website that does wrestling betting, because I was going to do it for SummerSlam, horrendous, absolutely horrendous websites. Like, you can't even put in a card, or you can put in a card, but there's you have to put in at least $50, and the fees are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one, because I went to 4 different sites because I wanted to make a parlay for SummerSlam. I was just like, after, I don't know, an hour of searching, I was like, nope, this ain't happening. I guess I'm going to stick to DraftKings and ESPN Bet and FanDuel and all that.
Yeah, with these other sites, I mean, obviously they're not like those ESPN and FanDuel one, but I mean, if you got the money to do it, do it. I mean, but again, like you said, you given them the warning about the fees and all
Yeah.
of
And
that.
some of them, it's only through crypto. And
Hmm.
it's not a crypto bro, so I really don't understand it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I just want to pull some up because some of these matches do have odds. Next match listed, we're just gonna go in order here. I think this match, man, has had some great build up, great promo work, can really put these women really, really on the map. Timeless Tony Storm versus the Glamour Maria May for the AEW World Tag Team Women. I mean, not World Championship. Currently, right now, Jacob, Miss May is a minus 800 favorite. Tony is plus 425. Timeless Tony was getting a little stale to this feud with Maria May, and May has dropped some bars. Tony's dropped some bars. What do you got with this one?
dude, I think it's time that we see Tony Storm drop it. I'm
Mhm.
going to go with Marie May. Theoretically, though, if Tony Storm kept it, I would be insanely okay with it. Tony Storm, we were shitting on her hard for years.
A
We're just like,
long
it's,
time.
yeah. And shout out to her. She reinvented herself. This storyline that she's been doing is so good. We say it anytime now that we talk about Tony Storm. So she theoretically, if she keeps it, I'm good with it. They're both great wrestlers. The fans win. The fans win. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot during this podcast. The fans win. But yeah,
Yeah, I think if they want to make an official new top woman star, it's time for Miss May. If she's going to do it, it's time right now. Like, this is how you crown a new star, just like you reinvented Tony Storm to this timeless Tony, which is her best version. This is how you crown a new champion.
yeah. And a new women's champion. We I know we complain about the women's division in AEW a lot, and we complain about AEW a lot, but I'm always down to make new stars.
Yep.
And this would put her over big time. Strike while the iron's hot, like you
Yep.
said, basically.
And with her, you gotta, if you're gonna give her the title, you gotta give her a decent run. It can't be something where she loses the title in 2 months.
Yep, that's
That's
a fact.
that's been the problem with that. I mean, you compared Willow to like WWE's Piper Niven. I could say that Maria, I mean, she's a more serious, edgier Tiffany Stratton. Like she's upright. They're both up. I mean, they could
Yeah,
be technically the new faces of women's wrestling as a whole in these next 5 years.
absolutely. And we could finally see the end of the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah, and one of
That
them
was
is actually in a big match with. Next one. This is, I'm probably going to say this a couple of times. Main event worthy. MJF, Will Ospreay for the AEW American Championship. Currently, right now, Will Ospreay is the favorite minus 2,000. MJF plus 700. Last year, MJF was the main event of this evening. He will not be this year, but this is a main event worthy match. London, I think Ospreay takes this one. Jacob, what do you think?
Dude, honestly, this should be the opening match.
Mm,
I really think this should. This would light that. I mean, that crowd's already going to be hot, but man, like this is just pouring gasoline on a fire to start that show. It'd be epic. Um, man, I'm torn on this because MJF's killing it. I mean,
mm-hmm.
so's Will Ospreay. I mean, MJF is basically fuck it. We've already talked about two WWE wrestlers. Let's do MJF's being like new age Zeb Coulter right now from like 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it. I like it. I like the gimmick. I think it's fun. Honestly, the fans win. The fans win on this match. You know this is going to be certified banger. this is going to be one of the matches that we talk about
Yep.
for a long time going forward.
Yep. Agreed.
I mean, I'm kind of shocked that Osprey is so heavily favored because I think MJF is going to win this.
Oof.
In my opinion.
Okay.
I think it's going to be with some shenanigans, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I think MJF takes this.
That's a good one. We'll see, man. I just maybe because it's in London, but MJF, I'm always partial to like, hey, man, this is a homegrown dude. This dude came back from injury. I still don't understand why he hasn't gone to go destroy Adam Cole's group every week, but that's just me. But we'll see. That will be interesting. Next one, Jack Perry versus Darby Allin in a coffin match for the TNT Championship. Who do you got in this one?
I want Darby Allin to win. I think he should win.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm just constantly repeating myself tonight with different shit. I can very easily see Jack Perry keeping it, and I'd be okay with it because he's such a fucking heel. Like, I love Darby Allin. Darby Allin is, such a homegrown star for that company. And I get so's Jack Perry. I know Jack Perry was part of the whole shit last year and all that jazz. But dude, I like Jack Perry in the Elite. And I love fucking Darby Allin just being Darby Allin, who was an absolute psychopath, new age Jeff Hardy, I'm comparing everyone to WWE. We're just doing it. Okay. Man, I think it's just going to be a good, gritty match. I think it's just going to be very gritty.
I got Mr. Jack Perry in this because I want to keep that heel momentum going. Like, I think that him retaining the championship, and him winning this type of match, because I think people are going to assume Darby would win a Calvin match, but I think Perry needs to win. Keep the not shittery going, man.
Yeah.
You got to keep going until Tony Khan comes out and punches you in the face.
Oh, yeah. But honestly, at the same time, Darby doesn't need this title. Mm-mm. He's already had it, what, twice? 2-3 times now?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need it. But it's Darby Allin. Like, it just kind of goes with him. It just works. I'm good with it.
Next match, since you alluded to the four horsewomen, Mercedes Moné versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for the AEW TBS Championship. Jacob, is this the biggest match in AEW women's history?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because I know we just talked about the women's champion, and now we're just talking about the TBS champion.
And why is only Sasha doing one belt? Doesn't she have two belts? Mercedes, doesn't she have two belts?
Yeah, she does. And this, I heard you're right. This is for the TBS championship,
yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, this is easily the biggest women's match in AEW history. The fans win. That's who's going to win. I think the fans are going to win. I think this should be a barn burner of a match. But I think Sasha has to win this.
Yeah.
She hasn't. She's been back for a while. She's only had a few matches, though.
Besides one, have been all championship matches.
Right. And they're paying her buku money.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a star. She's just a star attraction.
Yep. You said the best, man. You said the best.
I mean, I would have to. If Britt would win it, cool, I guess. But does Britt need it? No. Leave it on Sasha. See, she's the most popular. She's in a way. I mean, I know this is basically like the two faces of your women's division. which is weird because like I said, we just talked about the women's championship match. But let's be real, this is the face of your women's part of your company.
Yep.
Both of them can theoretically win this, but with the amount of money you put on Sasha, because as soon as Sasha loses, you have to put her in a storyline to win the women's title.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Yeah. So you can't let her sit in catering with the amount of money you're paying her.
Right. And yeah, there's let's be real. We always talk about making titles mean something. Sasha holding this title actually means something because your casual, regular fans can tune in. If they're flipping through the channels and they see Sasha Banks, let's be real. That's how still 90% of the casual fans know her is Sasha Banks. And they see her with the title. A lot of them are going to think that is the title.
Mm-hmm.
So leave it on her. Fuck it.
Ah, man, I agree. This is such an interesting thing, though, because Britt Baker is like she's their stalwart in that women's division. She's the girl, and she hasn't had a title in a minute, and she's come back from injury. This is when we talked about a couple podcasts ago, like, are you booking yourself into a corner with this?
Not exactly. I don't think so at all. And the reason I say that right now is because Sasha has Camille as her heater, as her body. And I know we talked about, like, I remember seeing Camille for the first time. I seen her in person wrestling in Ring of Honor when she was Nick Aldis's. She was a heater for Nick Aldis. And it was when him and Marty Scurll were having a whole thing for the NWA championship. I'm old. But Camille's a bad bitch. Like, she's real. So that storyline writes itself in my book. So I think you always have a easy out there. So back to my point of leave it on Sasha and let her just keep doing her thing. Eventually, turn on Camille or Camille turns on her, whatever. Make Camille the next star. Camille, I beat the girl who beat the head of the AEW's women division. The OG, I beat her. I'm the one who beat the one, Let it ride.
We'll see. That one I am so excited for because I cannot wait to see how they go with that. Then you got a couple. Matt, you got Orange Cassidy versus to be announced in a Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. Not everyone is announced with that. I mean, I'm old school. Since Orange Cassidy is the only name listed right now, I'm just going to go Orange Cassidy.
Safe bet.
You're only going to lift one person. I'm going to keep him. You got Chris Jericho with Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Hook. Last chance match for the FTW Championship. If Hook loses, he can never challenge for the FWT Championship for as long as Jericho is champ. I think I probably have Hook.
Yeah, I mean, this was Taz's title, so therefore this is Hook's title. I know, like, everyone just kept shitting on Jericho for, like, I don't know, that was like a big hot topic button, like 6 months ago. Or being like, oh, Chris Jericho never puts anyone over. Like, dude, let this story unfold. We want to see stories in AEW, so here's some storylines. Let it do its thing.
Yep.
I'm good with it. Hook's another one of those guys that I fucking love. And I love Chris Jericho. Unfortunately, I don't think this match is going to be a barn burner by any means.
No.
But I still think it's going to be a good match.
Agreed.
I'm good with it. Like, I think Hook wins and Jericho puts him over, and then you have like a Brian Keith versus Hook in the future, which money.
Agreed. Next, you got the Young Bucks versus FTR or the Acclaimed. Is going to be for the Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks always in the news. The EVPs. Who you got?
All right, let's see. The Young Bucks have the titles right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna. All right, so here's it. All right, scenario one: we have Young Bucks versus FTR. I've seen it 1,000 times already.
Yep.
I'll continue watching it for another 1,000 more. They're the people. Yeah, fight forever. I'll sit here and I'll watch it, and it'll put a smile on my face. I'm good with it either way. The Acclaim, another our option two. The Acclaim. I've seen this match 1,000 times, and I could watch it 1,000 more, and I'd also be okay with it. The fans win. That's what I think. I want the Bucks to keep it. The Bucks are so heel right now, and eventually, when Kenny Omega comes back full time, and it's going to be a bomb ass storyline, and I can't wait for it. I'm here for it. I love it. Just leave it on the heels. Just let them keep being assholes. They're good assholes.
Yeah, I think the Young Bucks are going to win this one. I think they'll beat the Acclaim because FTR got this match last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
either way, the fans win.
Yeah. Last match, main event. Swerve Strickland, champion. Bryan Danielson, challenger. Bryan Danielson getting a Omega big main event. Title versus career. Danielson said if he's losing, he's done. Right now, Jacob, Danielson is a overwhelming favorite on Bet Online, minus 2,500 to Swerve's plus 800.
Is he? Holy shit.
Who do you have walking out of the main event of Wembley? Danielson, Strickland.
Yeah, title versus career. Fuck. Okay. So back to the beginning of the podcast. This is my anxiety ridden filled. This is the reason why when I look at this card, because this just overshadows everything. And the way AEW has been building this has been like Daniel Bryan's in hospice and we're just waiting for him to go. Like, old Cowboy's on his way out. Gunslinger sending his last duel out. Like, holy shit. They even had the Green Day Time of Your Life, the 2010 prom Don't Drink and Drive music video that my school showed every single day. Shout out Mitch Ozo. He understands. I'm not sure if it was the same thing at your school, but our school did. Dude, goes through the whole fucking career of Daniel Bryan. Like, all the shit. Beautiful. It's magical. Swerve Strickland is a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Swerve Strickland has had the title for how many months now?
Let me check for you.
I mean, it hasn't been over a year by any means. It ain't been a super long time. So, what do we got here?
He beat Samoa Joe April 21st.
All right, so
118 days.
118 days, 4 months. All right. So here's the thing. Swerve Strickland's been a great champion. I love him as champion. He's good. He makes that thing real. He makes his matches real. Back to, he's a bad motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen. So for that reason, I don't want him to lose. He's a great champion. He has built himself up. He has made himself look strong. He's made himself look like the toughest son of a bitch in the whole company.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Daniel Bryan said last year he was retiring this year, which makes me go, how is Daniel Bryan the favorite here? If anything, I think Daniel Bryan needs to be an insane underdog because I could very well see Daniel Bryan. Hey, I'm going out, the biggest show. I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to live in a teepee in the middle of the woods, compost my own human excrements. Like I could see that, and Daniel Bryan would be happy with that, and I'd be happy for him. But I don't want to see Daniel Bryan go. I don't want to see him go. I don't want the gunslinger to end on his last duel. I want him to keep going. I don't want it to end. But like I said, I feel like I'm sitting here at a hospice. I'm like, all right, is it over yet? My God. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't like it. I mean, I like it. This build-up's great. But at the same time, I don't like it at all. I don't know how to feel.
I
I'm in
think,
a box of emotions.
dude, I want Swerve to win because again, you establish full time champ. It's firmly established. He's the guy right now.
Yes, sir.
That's what I. But like you said, but if this is the Bryan Danielson thing, what better way to go out as the biggest pay per view of the year?
Yeah.
Because he said he's wanted to go out and be in the back and do his stuff. Because remember, Tony Khan said if something ever happened to him, he trusts a company with Bryan Danielson.
Can't believe he wouldn't trust it with Phil Brooks.
But unfortunately, because of odds, it's an upset. I'm gonna take Swerve, man. Like,
Dude,
okay, if Bryan Danielson wins, he's not gonna hold that title forever. Who's gonna take it from him?
I mean, I don't know who's going to take it. I don't know who's going to take it from, but I know that build-up would be sick. I mean, Joe can come back. I mean, Joe's filming another season of Twisted Metal right now. But when Joe comes back, he's going to be an absolute wrecking ball of a human being.
Yep.
But I mean, dude, you have so many options there. We saw we have Kenny Omega, we have John Moxley, we have Jay White. I mean, we say this every time. One of the greatest rosters of wrestlers ever, human history. Anyone theoretically could take it off Daniel Bryan, especially with the right storyline. But God damn it, I don't, dude, I'm so torn. I want Strickland to win, but I don't. He's such a good champion. I want him. He's such a full time established. That motherfucker. Freaking Dan Bryan's out in the middle of the ring watching, his eulogy. And then just get stopped by Swerve.
Yeah.
I love it. I hate it. I'm crying. I'm smiling.
So who are you going to take, man?
Fuck it, dude. We're going Swerve Strickland for the win. Daniel Bryan's going back out to Seattle. He's going to live in a TP out in the middle of the woods. He's going to eat kale, and I'm happy for him. Do your thing. Or stay in the back, do your thing. I don't care, man. Spend time with your family. He loves his family.
That is true.
Plus, then you also have the option. Daniel Bryan will eventually, at some point, go back to WWE, either as just a one-time off show or something along those lines. Daniel Bryan, Hall of Fame. It's Daniel Bryan. If he leaves, he can do whatever he wants.
Yep.
Or could we see? Here's an option. This is I'm shooting from the hip here, off the fucking wall, off my rocker idea here. Daniel Bryan loses. He leaves AEW. He shows up on Ring of Honor.
Ooh. Okay.
And he goes back to his quote unquote roots. American Dragon. I could maybe something like that. I mean, that would really pop Ring of Honor.
Knowing him, he would try and do something like that because he'd be the humble humble beginning, so I wouldn't put it past him.
I could see something along those lines easily, you know.
Yeah, no.
But fuck, dude, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I still don't know, man. Like, I really don't know. I'm hoping Swerve just because I'm going to be like, oh, Swerve, you deserve it. You know, the fucking standard ass answer. You know, anytime. But at the same time, it's like Daniel Bryan, you deserve the fucking world because you're the fucking greatest. You're one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestler. You know, you're phenomenal. You do amazing things. You know, let's be honest, that run he had in WWE for
Mhm.
WrestleMania 30
Yep.
was one of the most beautiful things I've
Yep.
ever seen in my entire life.
Hmm. I, if they show his family, he's winning.
I don't know though. If Brie and her kid are there and they show them, dude, what better way to go out than Swerve leaves the ring and Daniel's in the ring waving to everyone, his kid's coming up and his kid's hugging on him and Bree's hugging on him. And then they retreat off to their teepee out in the middle of the woods and do their thing. Dude, I can fuck, man. I don't know. There's I don't know.
And that's going to be the main event of the night. I'll stay Swerve. I'm going to say Swerve. I could see Brian Danielson winning though. It's gonna be interesting, man. 25th. I think it's 1 p.m. for us. They'll be starting at 6 over layer. The only thing I wanted to say real quick, obviously, because we're recording on the day, rest in peace, Afa Anoyi. The other half of the Wild Samoans passed away today, 81. So both have passed away in the past,
That's like a month.
yeah, past month. So, Jake, that's really all I want to say with AEW at this point in time. We'll have a review on these matches. I'm gonna watch Wembley. Jacob's gonna watch Wembley. It's gonna be a good time, man. Last year got me pumped up. Can't wait to see what it's like again. Jacob, anything else?
Where's Switchblade Jay White in this whole card?
He's not on the card.
Uh,
Well, he could be. I mean, maybe he'll be in that tornado thing
could
with
be a
Orange Cassidy.
guy, technically, but come on, it's Jay White.
Hey, you don't
But
make
let's,
this card, man, or you're not part of the buildup. You know where you stand.
dude, and let's be real. This entire card, top to bottom, is good. Your worst match on paper, like just looking at it, is Chris Jericho versus Hook. All right. And Chris Jericho is one of my top wrestlers of all time, easily.
Mhm.
Whatever. I'm a Chris Jericho stan. But that being said, you know that's still going to be a good, an okay to good. I don't think it's going to be a bad match.
Yeah.
The fans win on this card. This card has earned my hard-earned money that I have profusely sweated my ass off for recently.
Mhm.
Like, it's dude, everything's so good about this entire card. Fuck. NJF versus Ospreay is probably going to be match of the night. That's going to be a match of the year candidate, probably.
Absolutely. If they eat like the last time, I mean, it's a wrap.
Yeah. But then if this is Daniel Bryan's last match, you know he's going all out.
Yep.
You know he's every injury don't matter. He's sending it all.
Nope. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna this next week, next Sunday. Be on the lookout for that. Jacob, anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. Remember, next Sunday, 25th, Wembley. Listen to this before you watch that so you can make your picks. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to Wembley next technically Sunday, but it's going to be a great time. With that being said, let's go Swerve. L7C signing out. thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.